highlights of Moto 1, which was completed earlier today. Off the start, 2 of our 3 championship combatants are immediately into the number 1 and 2 position. You've got the 2 of Villopoto on the green and the 1 of Dungey right next to him. Chad Reed, meanwhile, is buried. He gets stopped when another rider goes down in turn 2. Villopoto sprinted. He got away from Dungey on the opening laps, but Dungey just wouldn't give up, Jeff.
Dungey put on a charge, and he started to close it in, but his fellow Australian, Chad Reed, was way outside of the top 10. Passes another Australian here, Michael Byrne.
Yeah, and Reed had to keep digging. Here is Andrew Short making the move on Justin Brayton to get inside the top 5. Dungey was able to close in on Villopoto, but watch this. Grabs too much throttle out of that corner, loses the back end, and that essentially ended the battle for the lead. Villopoto takes the first Moto win over Dungey, and Chad Reed struggled coming through traffic. Yeah, he made a couple of passes, but not as many as he wanted to, and the results in that one, he ended up, I believe, in the number 7 position. So if you're Reed, you've got to make up ground in Moto 2. Here is your starting grid at the top. Pick your favorite. Watch for a couple of potential spoilers. Trey Canard, who was 3rd in that first Moto on the number 41 Honda. He has proven he can mix it up with these front runners. Let's go racing live on Speed. Same story. It is Dungey and Villopoto out front just like they were. But now you get the 800 of Mike Alessi, who knifes to the inside and gets to 2nd ahead of Dungey.
Chad Reed with a little better start. I believe he's 5th or 6th. Let's see as they come over the top of Horsepower Hill.
Dungey going to try to get Alessi back around the outside. They've also got Canard there with them in 4th. And Dungey knows if he's stuck behind a couple of riders, Villopoto can sprint early and get away.
Interesting part of the track there. They don't use that section too much. As you can see, it was pretty dusty. It's hard to get water up into that area.
Unbelievable what Villopoto has done with his starts today. 2 hole shots. But he's got his old rival, Mike Alessi, right there behind him. Dungey going after Alessi early.
But Dungey needs to make a move quickly on Alessi. He's got the speed to run down Villopoto, but if you let Villopoto get out front too far, it's going to put too much pressure on to make it happen quickly.
He's got to worry about Canard. Canard trying to get Dungey, and Dungey responds and holds off the 41, but he almost lost another position.
Jason, this is an extremely difficult time of the day to race here at Washugal. You notice the shadows from the trees. Great for the fans, providing lots of shade to keep them cool, but for the riders, as you come down into these sections, you see how dark the soil becomes now. They've worked on the track in certain spots. They've also laid down quite a bit of water in certain places. So this first lap, the track is going to be really hard and slippery. Tire choice is going to be important to have the right tire setup for your bike to compensate for that. Vision, of course, like I said, getting into those shadowed areas, and the final key is to be efficient. Villopoto was very efficient to first Moto. He rode a great race. He's got lots of energy in reserves for Moto 2. He's going to need it.
All right, that was your Rocky Mountain ATVMC.com keys to the race. The key to the race for Ryan Dungey right now is to try to get around the 800 of Alessi. And we had talked to Alessi earlier today, and he told us he thought the key for him, of course, was a good start. Now, Alessi is known as one of the best starters in the business, but the last couple of weeks, we have not seen the 800 up front like this. He thinks if he can get one of these starts, he can at least keep pace with these riders for the first 15 minutes. That's his goal, to stay in the hunt, and he is right now.
Yeah, and I believe that the track...
Whoa! Canard launches, and he scrubbed it, I guess, too hard uphill, and came back the other way.
And this is a dangerous spot, Jason, because the riders are coming over that blind jump. Canard goes down hard. He is grasping his left thigh.
And he is just back from injury, and he had a broken leg. We hope that that has not aggravated that injury. Take us through this, Jeff.
Watch as Canard tries to scrub it, and the front wheel taps, so the front wheel stays up. He augers in the ground pretty hard, but as he's trying to scrub it, he's tucking the front wheel down, and it touches, puts him into a looped out scenario. When he planned on having the front wheel low, the front wheel came up. Horrendous crash here for Trey Canard, only a second race back after a broken leg.
Trackside medics are already there attending to him. Man, we hope he is okay. He was getting aggressive, trying to mix it up with Dungey. We figured that Canard and maybe Alessi could potentially be spoilers, and Alessi already is right now by running in between Villopoto and Dungey, and Canard wanted to be there as well.
Yeah, and to explain that scrub there, that's a situation where when you go over a jump, you lean the bike over on the takeoff, and so it takes your trajectory and flattens it out.
We are tossing the red flag out, and that means this race will come to a stop because, presumably, Kennard is in a precarious situation, and they do not want bikes racing through. That horsepower hill where he went down, Jeff, is one of the fastest sections of this track.
And that blind area, I remember a few years back, Mike Brown being involved in an incident there where a rider went down and he got hit squarely, or vice versa. It's a very dangerous area if someone's laying there.
All right, so Kennard is still down, so the red flag is out. Obviously, you want to take every precaution that you can. Take us through this again, Jeff.
Pay attention, watch his front wheel as it taps right there, and it takes the whole momentum of the bike and the whole flow. Such a hard hit for Trey Kennard.
Yeah, and obviously he is coming off a leg injury, but who knows? That could be a knee, it could be a hip, it could be anything. So, and plus you can see that side of the track, there isn't enough room to drive one of the medic mules up there. So we'll sort this out in a moment. We'll come back, re-rack it, and go racing live from Washugal. Stay with us. Meanwhile, bad news for the number 41 of Trey Kennard. The Asterisk medic team is attending to him. It was a huge crash that led to a red flag situation here before he went to break, Jeff.
Yeah, this was a really fast section of the track. A blind uphill jump where Trey was trying to scrub it. And what you do in a scrub is on the face of that jump, you lean the bike over and you kind of slide. Here's a look from behind. I want you to pay attention to his front wheel tapping. Right there, the wheel goes up, and see how it spins the rotation of the bike off from what he intended. Right there, it hits again, see, and then it throws the bike, rotates it the other way, and he goes over the bars, takes a pretty hard hit right there. This ground up here at Washugal is an extremely hard pack in that section.
Okay, well, it's good to see that they took all the safety precautions they could by red flagging this, so they didn't have to deal with riders on a very, very fast section of the track coming by with Kennard just off to their left. And that means we'll have to reset this race. Man, that Honda team has definitely been snake bit. Their other rider, Josh Grant, is out with a knee injury, and Kevin Windham said he was burnt out and he was the replacement rider. I have to get him on the phone and bring him back. Speaking of being back, we will be back in a moment. Well, a chaotic opening for our second moto here live on Speed. Washugal, Washington. Trey Kennard with a big crash. The medics have attended to him. We red flagged the race. We are ready to restart. We were 3 minutes and 39 minutes into that race, so we will remove 3 minutes and 39 seconds from the 30-minute race duration. That is his mom there on the left with the blonde hair, Carrie Kennard. And unfortunately, this is a situation they have been in before. He did have a leg injury coming into this series. Aaron, any reports down there on Trey's condition?
Well, guys, not too much to report at the moment. We're witnessing him on the mule at the moment, getting loaded into the ambulance. But he is complaining of pain in the exact same spot in the left femur, which was the one that he recently had injured. So not too much to report, but what a tough day and a tough Washugal for Trey Kennard.
Yeah, because the coincidence here is that in 2008, he was battling in the 250 class with Villopoto and Dungey and broke that leg for the first time at this track.
Yeah, watch it right here. He gets up over the front of the bars, and then right there when he hits the ground, that's the impact on the leg.
Man.
And so here we go. Villopoto and Dungey are going to re-rack this thing. Now Reed, he was 7th on the first lap, so he started just outside of the top 5 on the first start here. Fellow Australian Michael Byrne had a great start. He was up inside the top 5 also. For Chad Reed, this may be the do-over that he needs to put himself back in there. And I'm telling you, if the 1 gets in front of the 2 off of this start, both motos, they drag race. It was like a carbon copy.
Right.
This might be what could change this whole thing. And remember, Villopoto's never won here. How frustrated could it be if it went negatively on his part?
Yeah, exactly. He had the whole shot. And as we like to say, will justice be served? Will he have the whole shot again?
Let's see. He's going to have to earn it. I mean, he is so on today.
Yep.
His corners are flowing. The starts are great. Kawasaki looks like they've got the bike dialed in for him. Trying to get the monkey off his back here.